So at Spookala, our booth was like 2 booths behind the Busch Gardens Howl-O-Scream display. So fittingly, on Saturday night, we headed out to Howl-O-Scream. The weekend I typically go to Howl-O-Scream each year is about a week earlier than this was, and I usually try to go as early in the day as possible, early in the night as possible. But because the vendor room didn't close till like 7 o'clock, it was a bit on the later side by the time we got out there, and it was definitely crowded. Aside from being a normal night, aside from being the first weekend of October, there were also a lot of other people from Spookala going out to the event. So usually I get to Howl-O-Scream before the sun goes down, and sometimes before the event even starts. This year, it was already in full swing and complete darkness by the time we got there. And also, usually I'm going by myself, but this time I had a few friends with me. My buddy Rob, who of course was half of Stabbing Cabin Studios, who we were at the con vending for, his girlfriend Bella, and then a little after we got there, we met up with Ash and her husband Jesus, and briefly met up with some other friends from the con as well. So because we've been at the con all day, upon first arriving, we ended up going straight to Zagora Cafe to get something to eat. Unfortunately, they didn't have any burgers going on at that point. They're supposed to have like burgers and wings, so like wings were like really the only option outside of fries. And what was listed as a garden salad, but turned out to just be a pickle. And there was also some like dessert items as well, but grabbed something quick to eat and then kind of headed into the park itself. The first little area here is no longer a scare zone. We were going clockwise around the path of the park. The park is one big loop. In the past, this first section has been a scare zone, but it's not anymore. I think once Iron Gwazi opened, they kind of shut down that being a scare zone, so it was more of a kind of what it is during the normal park hours, just with spooky lighting. But we went to our first house, which was Witch of the Woods, Rise of the Coven. While waiting in line for Witch of the Woods, it brings you through the Australian section of the park, and they had some like kangaroo statues that were where the line was, which led to joking about, you know, koalas with chlamydia, and leading to the Florida issue of monkeys with herpes. And oddly enough, that'll come back in a little bit. And because you're allowed to film in the houses at Howl-O-Scream, instead of my normal describing what happens, I'm just gonna put my footage, or at least what came out of the footage in here. Probably gonna try to lighten it up a little bit because it was pretty dark in those houses, but here you go. hire scare actors? What the fuck? So yeah, I don't know if it was going through a shift change or what was going on when we went through, but there were very few scare actors. Like, I could see all the spots where scare actors should be, and I mean, there were some in there, but it was very limited in terms of scares, which really sucks, because I love Witch of the Woods. I was telling my friends it was a great first house to go into, and it was kind of lackluster. And it's always that thing where, like, you know, you're excited to show your friends something they've never been to before. And I know Rob and Bella had never been to this event before, so I was like, you know, kind of excited to be like introducing them to Howl-O-Scream, at least the Busch Gardens one. I think Rob went to the SeaWorld one once, but kind of makes you feel like a liar, right? When it's not what you promise. So once we left that house, we met up with Ash, or better known as Shotzi from WWE, as well as her husband Jesus, and we kind of hung out with them for the rest of the night. So next up for us was going into our first scare zone, which is Raven's Mill. I've often said I don't really know what the park looks like during the day so well. I have since been back to the park during the day since I started going to Howl-O-Scream, but I don't know it like I know the Universal parks. So I don't really know where this new location for the scare zone was. And I think it was technically bringing you backstage to go to this, because you kind of walked through a gateway and there was a lot of dead space. It seemed like you were seeing the backside of like Iron Gwazi on one side and some of the other like kiddie rides or whatever on the other. So yeah, I don't really know what this is, if this is part of the park during normal day hours, but it was kind of an out and back to do this scare zone.
Oh, are you vlogging too?
Yep.
Yeah, are you allowed to record?
Nobody stopped me.
Okay, yeah, bitch asshole!
Sick.
But it's well done. It almost is like a house in its own in one. Yeah, so if they're all out there, it's good. It's like, it's pretty on point when they're all out there.
If they're all out there.
Yeah, no, but it does get backed up, so if you see a window, take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody does it once. I don't know why, but they do. You did, you got it. Be real. Be real. I'm a scare actor now. They ate all my friends. They ate all my friends.
She wasn't very concerned at all.
They're eating them, and then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god!
Is this troll too?
Hey. Aww. This is corny as fuck.
Say corny?
Yeah. Oh, the haunted outhouse. Holy shit.
I feel like LED lights with those lights on is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Are we supposed to go looking or something?
Yeah. Go look. Oh, shit.
I'm gonna play your flesh and hang you like that.
Honestly, I think this was a really cool scare zone. It was pretty well populated. I like that it was kind of its own thing. You know, it almost felt like a little mini house, which was great. Raven's Mill was one of my favorites from previous years. I did like its old location a lot because I feel like it really worked with that kind of ramp section of the park, but this was cool as well. So either way, I think it would be cool to keep doing this same scare zone. So as we went back down the path, we went through not really a scare zone, but they brought back one of the sections of the park where they'll have people hiding in the bushes and making noise and we really can't see them.
Dude, imagine months in advance. It's a different experience.
And then we got into our second official scare zone, Little Nightmares. This is another returning one.
I love it. No!
Hey, Charlie Brown.
Got any candy? Any blood?
Yeah, plenty of that.
Can we have it?
Sure. Come get it.
Not him, huh?
I think this is a fun design. It's not the most involved scare zone ever, but I think the idea of it kind of being like going down the street trick-or-treating with sadistic trick-or-treaters is a fun concept. And then we hit yet another scare zone. I think by virtue of the layout of the park, it always seems like there ends up being like scare zone stacked on scare zone. So I think my friends were wondering where the hell the houses were. And I kind of got assigned to being like the tour guide for the group of us because I believe Ash and Jesus had only gone one prior year. And like I said, Rob and Bella had not gone before. So I was the one with the most Howl-O-Scream experience by far. So I was kind of like, no, there are houses. I promise there's more stuff in the back of the park. So this next scare zone was a new one, and this was Lot Massacre.
Find one of our attendants for assistance.
Guess so.
Now breathe. You just walk through a tree box. You can put up a tree at any time.
Gamble?
So again, trying to bring Christmas into my Halloween event, not my favorite. Also, like the guy at the end, it wasn't scary, it was just high pressure sales, which I guess is scary, but not what I was expecting. So finally, we're at our next house, and this is a returning house, the Forgotten Uprising. I forget what it was called last year. I thought it was Uprising as well. And this is something they do with the houses year after year of kind of taking the existing house and then adding like theme on top of it. And last year they were basically having the vampire killers starting to go into the house and not making it very far. So I was curious to see what they do this year. Bats up there.
Last year, huh?
Right? No, it's more vampire killers than there were vampires.
Not enough gimps this
Yeah,
year.
they added the.
And yeah, it looks like the vampire killers won. So last year I was saying it might be the last year for the Forgotten because it seemed like they were having the vampire killers going in and be like the end. But this time it really seems like it might be the end because basically the vampire killers look like they won this time, which is a bit of a bummer because I enjoy the Sexy Vampire Club. And even as we left, Ash was like, this is a lot less sexy than last year. And yeah, because the vampires lost, I guess, which sucks. It's weird to see a haunted house where the quote-unquote good guys prevail, outside of ones that are like movie-based. But even usually movie-based ones, you have like that teaser at the end that there's something more coming. After this, we got our second round of Jello shot syringes. The fuck is up? And then our friends Troy and Jonathan came, met up with us, and of course that led us to having a third round of Jello shot syringes.
And then the veins are like.
There was also a photo op area where it was like a skeleton throne. So we all kind of took turns taking pictures there. And that was the case where it was all the couples taking photos together. And then like for whatever reason, Troy just decided to climb into my shot. So while we were going through and taking those photos, a group of kids came up to us. They're like, oh my gosh, you guys in a band? Which, I mean, makes sense. Like we're all like tattooed people and shit in black t-shirts. And I think somebody told them yes. And then they're like, what's your band name? I was like, Koala Chlamydia? I don't think they understood what that meant. But now I really want a band called Koala Chlamydia.
Koala chlamydia. Koala chlamydia.
Chlamydia.
Oh, did you split your tongue yet?
Yeah, we did.
Ah, high five! Did it suck?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How long does that take to heal?
I'm 2 weeks out and I'm mostly talking okay. It doesn't hurt anymore. After that, I think we lost Troy and Jonathan. Jonathan because I think there were other people around, and Troy just because I think he was really drunk. So we went on to the next scare zone, which is another new one called Ragnar's Wrath. And honestly, I barely looked at the map before going to this event. It was like a month prior. So I kind of knew there was like one new house, but I really didn't pay attention to the scare zones. But this one, if I'd known about it, I would have been really excited because it was Viking themed.
There's definitely going to be a fucking band name or a song name.
Fuck yeah.
I feel like it's got to be all one word then.
Yeah. Scare zone.
This is like wearing cheesecloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking LSU dude is such a rip-off.
What amount of Martha album is this? Blood Eagle. this one was fun. Definitely something new and different. Seems like kind of an odd theme choice for Howl-O-Scream, but I'll also say they were playing like actual like metal in the background to a lot of the park in certain areas, and I swear I heard like Amon Amarth's The Way of Vikings playing at one point, so maybe that was intentional. So we kind of went through the backside of the park, and I don't even think they were running the bumper cars this year, which is kind of a bummer because that would have been fun to do. But we finally got to the Pantopia section, and the one new house of the year, Shadows of Wonderland. Stole our clock.
They did.
That is my majesty's throne.
Can I have some shrooms?
say, I really enjoyed this house. Like, I really didn't think, you tell me an Alice in Wonderland themed house or Evil Fairy Tales house, not normally something I like. I feel like it's really cliche to do at a haunted attraction, but it was fun. Like, I think it was really well done. It was a pretty long house as well. And honestly, I was just kind of getting sick of the residents, which is usually what was back here, so it's a welcome change. I don't know if I'll like it as much next year if they do it again, assuming they probably will, but I enjoyed it for this time. Going through the Pantopia section is not really a designated scare zone, but they typically, and this year did add a bunch of clowns in there walking around, and I also feel like that works really well because, it's a carnival area.
What's up, dude?
How's the book club going?
Oh, it's going great.
We go that way.
Thank you.
That doesn't smell funny.
So where we going?
The hell? Come on.
On the highway? Yeah.
Oh, the elephants are over here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it smells like elephant shit.
It's the elephants. Yeah. Yeah, I assume it's like Flint or something. Yeah, the water's really bad. All right, breathe it in. Here we are. How do you hide an elephant?
You put a big fucking camo head on it until it's standing there and wait.
No, sometimes they're out.
Where would they even be in there?
In there, so I don't know. They must have a house.
The elephants have
Yeah, they have to have some kind of enclosure, right? Or like. Next up was the return of one of my favorite scare zones from last year, Sin City Zombies. Oh, this one was sick last year.
Some eye drops.
Was that it? Really?
So cool.
Honestly, this felt a little toned down from last year and not as immersive and cool as it was. Like, I thought there was more to go as we were going through it, and then it just kind of abruptly ended. Also, the fat Elvis last year, way better than the skinny one this time. Into another returning scare zone after that, Beyond the Veil.
That's straight up what
Fuck was that?
Yo, basketball.
There's another section where it's just scare zone after scare zone. Beyond the Veil is one that I never really feel like they've fully saw the potential to. I think I like it because it's black light. It looks very different from the other scare zones, but I'm ready for this one to kind of retire, I think. Next up, Sawgrass Slaughter.
The skunk ape. My relatives are here.
This looks like the fucking area that we had to dock up against.
Well, there you go. Chiropractic adjustment.
This one was really cool because it was very Florida. It was basically going after the skunk apes. So I really appreciate that, especially as somebody who grew up loving cryptids. However, I was disappointed there was only one skunk ape in the whole thing. Thankfully, going clockwise around the park, it was towards the end of the scare zone. But I feel like if you're going the opposite direction, it would have been kind of disappointing that it's like very far in the beginning and then it's just aftermath or random shit after that. So kind of a double-edged sword there. Next up, one of my favorite houses of all time they've had at Howl-O-Scream, Stranglewood Estate.
pretty bony.
This year, Stranglewood made clear something that I don't know if it was for the night we were there or an ongoing issue or what, but a lot of the, I don't know what you call it, like off the ground performers were not in place. Like there were several bungee jump things that they've had in a lot of houses and zones, and they didn't seem to have anybody there that night. And in Stranglewood, my favorite things was somebody coming out of one of the portraits on the wall, like flying towards you. And in that scene, there were people on the ground, and I think the door was just wide open, like nobody up there. So I don't know if there was a safety issue where they couldn't do that this night or at all this year. And while Stranglewood was still a lot of fun, it was missing my favorite scare, so it was a little disappointing in that respect. After that, we had our last house of the night, and that was D.H. Baggums' Circus of Fear.
Welcome to the Baggums Circus, where we put a smile on the Great Depression.
Step right up, folks. Get your popcorn.
I can save that so he can save you too. me what's in store.
Who wants to join our show? We've always got room for more. Right through here, folks.
Hope you like the circus.
I've heard of a foot fish, but that's ridiculous. Another returning one from last year. I honestly don't know if they changed much, if anything, in this house between last year and this year. I really enjoyed it last year, so I'm not complaining too much, but same with Stranglewood. There wasn't really any difference. Also, there is no subtitle given to the house, so there's nothing to imply that it would be different. But I feel like they usually change things year over year, and this was very much the same. And then we ended with the last scare zone. That was Terror Through Time. And I was like, oh cool, another new scare zone. But this is just the junkyard with a new name.
No means no, Phil.
Come on, man.
It's always cool to see those old pieces and elements from previous Howl-O-Scream years. I'm sure it meant little to nothing to my friends because they don't recognize it from previous years, but it is weird they renamed it from the junkyard for no real reason. So as far as rankings go, we'll start with the scare zones. So 8 scare zones. I'll put number 8, Lot Massacre. This was on that bridge section between the two parts of the park. And in the past, I feel like Raven's Mill did a great job with this section. This felt a little lackluster, really nothing too crazy cool there. And the theming just isn't something I really enjoy. Next, I'll go Beyond the Veil. It just feels a little stagnant at this point. It's still cool. It has potential. I don't know if they've ever realized the full potential of it. Number 6, I'll go Terror Through Time. Just recycled bits. And, you know, it's fun if you know what they are and kind of like, oh, that's from Motel Hell and that's from, you know, this or that or whatever. But it is really just a junkyard. Literally and figuratively. Number 5, I'll go with Little Nightmares. Enjoyable, but nothing crazy there. Number 4, I'll go with Sin City Zombies. Definitely felt like a step down this year, but it was still fun. Number 2 and 3 could kind of be interchangeable, but for number 3, I'll say Ragnar's Revenge. Another fun one. There were some bits in it that felt a little cheap, but overall it was pretty decent. So number 2, I'll give to Sawgrass Slaughter. And mostly, I mean, those are both two themes that I really enjoy, so I can't even say one beats the other in theme to me, but it was cool to see swamp apes represented. And number 1, I'll give to Raven's Mill. I feel like I always give it to Raven's Mill, or it's like number 2 if it's not number 1, but it's one of my favorite ones they've done. As for the houses, the 5 houses, number 5 I'm going to give to Witch of the Woods, mostly because I hope we got a bad run of it, but it just wasn't enough going on there. I will say, my friends had not been through it before. I think they said it might have been one of their favorites of the night. And it is beautifully themed, and I think the idea of going between multiple buildings as opposed to one internal building really elevates this house. So my opinion is more just the fact that I've seen it at its full glory, and this was a bad night. So I really think your mileage may vary on if this is the bottom house for you, but we had a bad run. Number 4, I will give to The Forgotten. Again, still a fun house, but I prefer it when the vampires are winning, and I don't think the Vampire Hunter stuff is as fun as it could have been. I think last year was a more fun balance, where it's like they were coming in, and the vampires were beating them at the end, and I think having them win is kind of, it's not scary, right? Number 3, I'll give to Shadows of Wonderland. Not my favorite just by the topic alone, but I think they execute it really well, so I think it deserves to have a solid spot on the list. And then 1 and 2 is hard. I think I'm going to go with Stranglewood Estate at number 2, mostly just because it was missing some of the scares that I really wanted to see in there, particularly the flying scare. Still a beautifully themed set, one of my favorites. And number 1, I'll give to Circus of Fear. Again, a very well executed house, very well themed, and that one felt like it was fully populated, so just by that rule, I'm gonna give it the lead. I don't really think, outside of my issues with Witch of the Woods, there was a bad house this year. I don't know if Witch of the Woods, with their new subtitle, I believe it's a new subtitle, would have been different feeling if it was fully populated, but it really didn't seem any different than previous years. The Forgotten, I think, was upgraded for the worst. They did this to Motel Hell as well. Like, they tried to add stuff to it and it made it worse, but I think the returning houses were still strong. I am curious if we might get 1 or 2 more houses next year that we don't have this year, because I think this is like the 4th year for both Witch of the Woods and Forgotten. I want to say they both came out the same year, so I'm wondering if they're both gonna go away for next season. So that's pretty much it for the Howl-O-Scream video. I think my next video is going to show some, if all goes according to plan, I've got a small haunt that I'm going to be filming at, as well as some Orlando horror stuff coming in one of my next videos. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.